Hello boxing fans, right now I'm talking Kubrat Pulev versus Alexander Dimitrenko. Just going to point this out straight away. If you look at Sauerland and his promotional company, he seems to be making a whole lot of good fights recently in the heavyweight division. It looks like he's aiming to bypass the whole Klitschko brothers as an entity in the heavyweight division, and he's just focusing on Povetkin and then all of his other fighters, and he's taken up all of the younger fighters, all the decent fighters in the division, and saying we'll match them all against Povetkin, and then we'll just cut the Klitschkos out and make good fights. And it seems like it's working, because this one is pretty much a #1 contender for the Povetkin as well. And I think it's a good fight. I think it's a brilliant fight. Okay, then getting straight into this and starting with Kubrat Pulev. Yeah, that's him right there, with his hoe of a girlfriend. Yeah, look at that skill there. Pulev can juggle. Okay, I'm going to start with the actual boxing part of this now. And yeah, where should I start with him? Well, he's had a good amateur career. He was no strangers to medals. He's won the 2008 gold medal at the super heavyweight, the World Championships. And since then he's become a professional. He's added up some good names on his career. He stands 6'4" tall, weighs in around 250 pounds per fight. However, he is in decent shape considering that amount of weight he has on him. He's got a very big, freakishly big frame, and he's quite wide in terms of the type of guy he is. Okay, like I said, he's been tested very early on in his career, and he's got some decent names all over his record, considering he's only had 17 fights. Just going to name a few of the names off his fights. Zach Page in only his 4th fight, that's decent. Matt Skelton in his 5th fight, shows he's got class. Paulo Vidaz, he's decent, and Michael Sprott, also decent. He's also got good skill, decent speed, good power. Most of his recent fights have ended by unanimous decisions, other than Sprott, who retired, which shows even though he can bang, it seems he doesn't have one-punch knockout power at the top level. So it sort of makes me think, other than if Dimitrenko takes a knockout, will this go for the distance? And I think it probably will. Moving on to Alexander Dimitrenko. He also has a big amateur background, winning the World Junior Boxing Championship in the unlimited weight division. He stands at around 6'7" and possesses solid footwork and impressive power for his size. He also weighs in over 250 pounds for most of his fights, so it really is going to be a huge match. Two huge guys. He's also been tested pretty early on in his career, and he's been in there with some good names such as Ross Purity, who beat Wladimir Klitschko, Andreas Sidon, Timo Hoffman, Derek Rossi, Albert Sosnowski, and Michael Sprott. He did, however, lose a match to Eddie Chambers, but that was his only ever loss, and it was a majority decision. This guy, however, does have the power, unlike his opponent, and his opponents know all about it. Of his last 6 matches, he's lost 1 majority decision, knocked 2 people out cold flat on their back, and stopped 2 others. Right, and only Michael Sprott took in the distance. So we're going to get straight into the prediction for this, and this is how I see the fight going. And to be honest, you've got to look at this, and it really is a 50-50 fight. Both of these guys are huge. Dimitrenko more so. The one with the power, with the more power anyway, is Dimitrenko. And I think he could score a knockout, but he hasn't hurt anyone at Pulev's level. So logically, if I was a betting man, which I am, I'd say they take each other the distance, but the only one who would get a knockout would be Dimitrenko. The more skillful is Pulev, so I've got to go with unanimous decision for Pulev. Tell me what you think of this fight. Tell me what you think of fights between these two and Povetkin. Tell me what you think about the heavyweight division as a whole if you cut out the Klitschkos. And tell me what you think about this fight.